So this is a trip review of Delta Airlines London Heathrow to Atlanta on board a 767-400 in economy. I'd never flown an American carrier before, and I'd be lying if I said that I didn't have a bit of trepidation regarding taking this trip and booking this flight. It was part of a connecting flight onwards to Nashville. Normally when I fly across the Atlantic, I fly Virgin Atlantic. I'm part of their reward scheme. Delta's a partner of Virgin, and it was the quickest way to get me from A to B essentially, and C and D by the end of it. So 767-400 is an old aircraft, probably older than anything that Virgin's got on their fleet. The reason the trepidation came about, a friend travelled with me to Miami back in November of 2023 on a separate flight, booked a flight with American Airlines, the cheapest option available at that time. Didn't hear good things about it. Economy seats, old product, which is fair enough. The food, I think partly frozen sandwiches, defrosting into a soggy offering is the way that he described it. So not the best. And I think one alcoholic drink with meal service for the whole flight, the rest you had to pay for. So trying to be realistic with my expectations, I set the bar pretty low. Plenty of footage of the service that are provided by Delta on this video. I'll put it at the end. You can pause and rewind and go back and view the content at your own perusal. What I didn't get was a picture of the seat. It was just a standard economy seat. However, the economy seat was rather comfy. There was a lot of padding in there, which you don't get on modern aircraft these days. It's very firm. I think it's pretty much an industry standard now that the seats are what they used to be. Decent recline, very comfortable offering, not cramped, decent width, 18 inches I believe, and 32 inches of legroom. So off to a good start essentially. We take off, the crew start delivering the drink service. I ask for a glass of red wine. I'm a red wine drinker on flights. It's a way to stay relaxed and something to enjoy in my view. So I ask for a glass of red wine. Delta flight attendants, very professional, very friendly, very engaging. They pour me a glass of red wine. It comes in the plastic Coca-Cola cups that they serve on Delta. Anybody who flies on Delta will know what I'm talking about. By my reckoning, there are about 330 millilitres in the UK. So again, by my reckoning, this cup full of red wine was probably equal to, if not more than, half a pint of red wine. So I hadn't done much research into what the food and drink offerings were prior to taking the flight. I wanted to experience it as it came, essentially. So anyway, poured the half a pint of red wine, by my reckoning. It's not factually correct. Enjoyed it, very good red wine. Then the meal service starts. Offered the choice of chicken and basil or free cheese tortellini. I went for the chicken and basil. Amazing, absolutely amazing. It's probably the best economy meal I've ever had in the skies. I'm quite an extensive traveller. I've only just started vlogging my travels, but I've travelled extensively. And the flavour, the portion sizes. So I think the chicken with basil, then there was potato gnocchi, then there was spinach in roasted red pepper. Never had spinach and roasted red pepper before, but it was amazing. Again, the video of that is pinned to the end of this. Full of flavour, couldn't ask for anything more. It came with a side salad, some cheese, some crackers, tiramisu for dessert. And as soon as the trolley serving the dinners had passed by, 5 seconds later I was offered another drink. So already one up on American Airlines there. So I went for another red wine, and again, same portion size. The portion of red wine was pretty much the full cup. And the pattern continued. So as soon as they'd done that, they started another drink service. So I think I had 4 glasses of red wine in total, which was easily over a full bottle's worth. And it was a decent red wine. It was a Rioja, then I think it went down to a Cabernet. About an hour after the third drink service, they came round with a hot cookie. I say a hot cookie again, the video that's pinned to the end of this video, it seemed like it was microwaved. As soon as it went into my tray table, I lifted the paper packaging where it came and it slid out, and it was fairly flimsy. Seemed like it'd been a microwave cookie, but tasted very good. Then a couple of hours after that, we were served a hot pocket. Again, never flown in a flag carrier before, never had a hot pocket. I went for the beef option, which was like a bolognese, sauce dressing with cheese in a pastry. Perfectly acceptable. I'd have it again. No gripes with that. That was the pre-landing meal, a hot pocket. And there was snacks at the back of the cabin. I forgot to vlog those, but there was muffins, there was Biscoff biscuits, cheese, crackers, soft drinks, anything you wanted. The galley, the crew weren't there. You could always flag them down in theirs and they would go and get it for you. Like I say, I set my standards pretty low based on a friend's experience on American Airlines last year. So I'd gone to get a meal deal before I boarded the flight, put it in my carry-on bag, prepared just in case there was any food that I wasn't too fond of, but I needn't have bothered. I was already plentiful, full with the food offerings that they provided, but I still wanted the meal deal on top of that. The onboard service was the selling point for me, but another big selling point was actually the in-flight entertainment. So Virgin Atlantic's in-flight entertainment, for me personally, I love the Virgin product. I really can't knock the Virgin brand. I've flown with them ever since I've started travelling across the Atlantic. I'd prefer not to fly another carrier if I could, but the in-flight entertainment, I think the last time I took the flight was a little bit too to the left, if that makes sense to anybody. If it does, I'll leave it at that. So there wasn't a lot of choice. Delta, the complete opposite. There's so much choice. New movies, old movies, new series, old series. The audio wasn't probably anywhere near as extensive as Virgin's, but the offering for the movies and the TV show significantly better. I think I watched a new series of Fraser and part of the Priscilla movie. Then listened to some of the audio on there. There was Spotify compilation playlists. So easy way to pass the time on a flight. It was an 8-hour flight. And I don't normally say this coming off an economy flight, but I felt like I could have spent more time on that seat in the product, with the service and the offerings that Delta were providing. I think this is going to be a bittersweet review, because I know that the new products that Delta is rolling out with the A330 Neos, you know, this offering, it was a 232 setup. I think the Neos is something like a 343 setup, so it's going to be significantly more cramped. Probably not as comfortable with the new seats. No reason to doubt that the food offerings and the in-flight entertainment and the drinks will remain the same, but kind of bittersweet. I think I got lucky with the fact that the 767, you know, the plane's 24 years old. Didn't look it, didn't sound it. Very clean, fresh, crisp cabin. The lighting, the ambience, really couldn't fault it. It didn't feel like a 24-year-old plane. I know it was because I checked on Flight Radar and Plane Spotters with registration. It gives you all that information, but yeah, really couldn't fault it. If I had to fly Delta again in economy, I would choose a 767-400. I wouldn't be so sure about maybe the A330 Neo or the A350, but 767, it's a thumbs up from me. It's more comparable to a premium product with the seating, the comfort, the space, the pitch, the width, the recline, and that counts for a lot. So if you are considering flying a 767 with Delta in economy and you're wondering whether or not to upgrade to, I think it's Comfort Plus, stick with the main cabin. It's fine. I'm not a huge guy, I'm 5'8", but I had ample room and I had ample recline, and there were bigger people than me in those seats and they did just fine too. So yeah, huge thumbs up from me for Delta. I think I'd even go as far to say as the products that I experienced in the main cabin, it's probably better than Virgin Atlantic's economy product, and I've flown in all three cabins across various aircraft, and especially now you're really not going to get a product like that for much longer. Again, I think it's due to the fact that it's a 767, it's an older aircraft. The layout is significantly more spacious, more roomy than the modern aircraft, and like I say, for the in-flight entertainment, we factor all those things in, and Virgin's food's pretty decent in economy. It's not as good as maybe pre-COVID. but Delta just knocked it out of the park. So if I had to give Delta a score out of 10, it'd probably be a 9 on this occasion. They're very impressed. That being said, I did allude to the fact that I'm not quite sure that that product will be as consistent across the rest of the fleet. So probably have to take a trip to compare the different types of aircraft, and off of the back of that economy products as well, I'm really excited to experience something like Delta One. So that'll be coming up in the future. I'll make that happen too.